Good morning. So, are you ready to discover the secret message in the edge of tomorrow? Today, you'll learn how you can turn pain into courage. So, grab your coffee and let's dig in. The Edge of Tomorrow, a 2014 movie where the characters live, die, and repeat, starring Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, and Bill Paxton. This is a story about a soldier fighting aliens who gets to relive the same day over and over and over and over again, restarting every time he dies. Like a video game, but with live ammo. It's a cross of Groundhog Day and War of the Worlds against squiddy aliens with the coffee jitters. What would you say? Would you recommend this show to anyone else?
Well, I would say that it counts on who that anyone else is, because, like I was saying, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of alien gore.
Alien gore, yeah. I wouldn't say there's
alien gore.
Well,
super
yeah,
duper levels of alien.
Yeah, but they're kind of gory to begin. Well, not really gory, but they're aliens, so I don't know if that really counts.
Okay, so sci-fi gore.
Okay, that works.
Sci-fi gore. There's a really, I can't remember any nudity in it.
Well, you do have that one guy who just wears a jock strap.
No, that's true. But it's sure.
It was more. It's
more comedy.
It's
than
not. Yeah,
sexual.
Yeah, he's not in very good shape. But anyway,
so
that might count.
Maybe. Language, yep. But that's about.
Yeah, that's
about all as far as the warnings go. So
yeah,
if you're okay with, this is supposed to be like, war film level stuff. So you would expect.
Yeah, as far as
violence.
This isn't like Saving Private Ryan. Although it is like a beach scene. It is like
a beach scene
where there's the combat.
It is Normandy, if memory serves.
Yeah, ironically.
So. Yeah, so I would recommend it to anyone with that in mind.
PG-13, so keep that in mind. But I think it's appropriately rated for that. I would say, as far as the violence gore, it's more intense than anything else.
Intense, very intense.
So you got that going there. So would you, in having that in mind, would you recommend this show to someone else?
Yes, like I said.
Okay, sorry, I missed that part. I was still stuck on the beach of Normandy. Okay.
Because
I got you. I would definitely recommend this. The closer I looked at it, and I've seen this movie more than once, and even if you've seen it once, you feel like you've seen it more than once because it repeats. But I would say that this would be a good recommendation for people. I think it's an enjoyable movie. Sitting down, it's well written, well acted. The special effects are good, and the way that one of the problems with these loopy time movies, Groundhog Situation, is you can feel like, okay, I get the point. Not with this one. I think they did pretty good getting the point across and doing cut scenes and everything like this, where when there is a repeat, you get and there's something different every time, and he doesn't get it right all the time either. There's some bad. Yeah, you got to learn from it, right? So it's a movie filled with time loops, epic battles. But the big question for us is, what are the hidden Christian themes? Not that the writers actually, snuck them in there or anything like that. But you look at a movie like this, or a book, or a TV series, and you say, I want to be able to pull something out of this. Is there something of value of eternal weight? I keep using that term, eternal weight, but there's reasons why I'm doing that. Eternal value that's there that you can talk to other people about, and just for your own edification. So we have this story of a soldier who, from cowardice to courage.
Yeah,
I think this is the message.
Didn't mention anything about him being an absolute coward at the beginning.
Well, we're not okay. This is the spoiler-free section right here.
That's not a spoiler at all if you watch the movie for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, the guy's a wuss.
I could say right now, before we get into the spoiler section, that this is a movie about going from cowardice to courage. so that you can overcome slippery squid aliens and become a hero, like Tom Cruise. So that's what you can learn out of this movie.
I think it might be slightly overselling that part.
Well,
okay.
yeah. So if you ever run into
this video is not going to turn you into Tom Cruise by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But if you happen to run into any squiddy aliens that are trying to take over the world, I would suggest you ask them to wait, go watch this movie, get some courage, and come back, because that's what you'll get out of this. Tom Cruise's Tom Cruise's character, Major William Cage, undergoes a profound transformation from a reluctant and inexperienced soldier to a skilled and courageous warrior. The purpose of pain. That's what I would grab out of this. There's a little preview of what we're going to be talking about, taking the messages out. And part of that is not just being courageous, but the purpose of pain. And to quote a certain guy named James, consider pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you can be mature and complete, not lacking in anything. So, spoiler time. Haven't seen this movie? If you want to see it, stop now, go watch it, come back, and join us for the rest of this review. Good quotes. I got a quote here for you. Ready for a quote?
Sure.
Okay. Cage, who is Tom Cruise's character. He is Master Sergeant Farrell. You're an American. Master Sergeant Farrell, in his accent, says, "No, sir. I'm from Kentucky." I thought that was a great line. I think everybody in Kentucky is an American, but still, it was a good, like, you're not expecting that.
Nope.
But it sounds like a drill sergeant, a master sergeant, something like that, right? So, what did you like about this movie?
What did I like about it? It was thought-provoking concepts, as well as the character itself grew on you as he went from absolute coward to decent individual.
Yeah, I think at the beginning you're wanting to
you kind of rooting for the guy to die.
Yeah, okay, so he goes to the general, and he's such a swarmy, slimy, weaselly guy. He says, you don't want to ruin this face, do you? This face is, this is your PR. You don't want me to go to war. You don't want me to get killed. And the general just sitting back in his desk and said, "Oh, I want nothing better than that."
He sends him off to the front lines. And he tries to desert.
Yeah. So that is really, I think it's well done in that you feel like you just do want to see this guy get it. And the general's a no nonsense guy. And says, everybody else is shedding their blood on the front lines. Everybody else is putting it in. You don't get to sit behind a desk or behind a camera and get out of this, right? Everybody else is a part of it. And it was a good thing because he really needed it, right? And had it not been for the whole repeating thing, that would have been the end of it, because his whole squad, I think does everybody die?
Everyone dies.
Yeah, it's like it
did not go very well.
No.
The whole storming thing did not go very well.
So that was one good thing. What else did you like about it?
The scientific concepts that it explores, a race of species that could reset itself, because that's the ability of these sort of aliens is whenever one of the blue ones die, or whatever commanders, or there you go, that one. Whenever those die, they reset the hive mind,
right?
So it can relive the day. So it already knew ahead of time that they were going to make this attack. It already knew that they were going to assault, because it's already lived this beforehand. And then the main character gets the same ability. Right.
So from what I understand, you have these different levels. You have these soldier aliens. And these things are really quick. I mean, they're just boom, 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 boom. They'll just come out of the ground, grab you, boom, and it's done. You can blink, and you're finished.
Yeah, they're scary. They're fast. They're in your face.
Right. Very flexible. So they will come in and they will do what they're doing, and then it appears that they're governed by these guys, which are like the officers, the blue ones that are the officers in the field. And then they're all governed by, it's almost like neurons. I think it was described this way in the movie. They're like neurons in this one mind, and they go back to the omega, and the omega is this central core, and it stays out of battle. It's the general that is back at the office commanding everything. And when one of his officers in the field gets killed, they reset with the memory.
Reset, yep, with the memory of the day up to that officer's death.
Right. And then you've got Cage, who's in there, and his first time in there fighting, he gets the blood of one of these blue guys on him and absorbs it, and then he has the ability to reset. And here's the thing. I don't know if this is very clear in the movie, but I think that he gets the ability to reset and redo it again, but the aliens don't. Because if they had that ability to reset at that time, they'd be able to fight him at the same level that what he's doing.
Yeah, they would be able to fight it. Now, I don't think he stole the ability. I just think that none of the blue guys died.
Oh, that could be. So
if none of the blue guys die, then they wouldn't be resetting, but he would still be resetting every time he dies.
Yeah, the first time he gets there, he's clueless, though. I mean, he gets on and he's
never been. He's only been PR. He's never been in the field. He's never had.
He doesn't even know how to wear the suit, because this mech suit that he has and everything like this. And I think they do a really good job of taking him as a total noob. He's being made fun of by the rest of the crew. That's in there as they dive in. They're coming in. They're doing this landing from the ship that gets blown apart halfway, and he's able just to slide right out. But so he gets this, and then he has this ability, resets, and he runs into Emily Blunt's character, and she is the Angel of Verdun. She has proved herself previously in battle. She is invincible. She's got plot armor up to extreme. She's extremely skilled.
Well, not really plot armor. You see, plot armor is more of a suggestion in this one. Because they all die.
Well,
repeatedly.
Yeah, okay. You have the potion of reviving, I guess. There's no plot armor. Yeah,
everyone just gets reset.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
Just the reset thing. So she comes in, and she's not a Mary Sue. She's a tough girl, but she is not a Mary Sue because she also got the blue juice on her, and that allowed her to do the repeating and the dying and the repeating again over and over again, and that's where she gets her skill from. And she's also got this careless attitude, because it's like after a while, if you're working with somebody, you got to repeat, you're not going to have a whole lot of emotional attachment, because that person's going to forget you the next time around anyway, and all this kind of stuff. So she's got this real.
No, she no longer has that ability.
Correct.
She lost that.
But she lost that.
Yeah, the callousness that comes along with, well, I've seen you die 500 times. So yeah, there's that.
You imagine what that would do to you psychologically. I mean, if you're stuck in some kind of loop like this for, I don't know how long.
That and the fact you dying too.
Yeah,
become callous to your own death.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, there was some comedy in here where she just time to reset, and she takes out a gun. No, I'm fine. Oh man, what would it be like to live in this kind of experience? So her character Rita is propped up as this hardened, invincible warrior. And it's only because this time loop is coming, and she hasn't revealed to anybody that this is happening, right? No one knows except for her doctor friend, who is able to help them and figure out what's going on behind the scenes. But they really attach onto Cage because he has this ability now, and they can use him as a key for it. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the plot of the story, pretty much, unless you want to.
No, I think this is the gist of what we need.
So these are the things that we did like. I mean, I think it was well written. The character development was great. There was some humor in here, a little bit of dark humor, but it was well done. What didn't you like about this story? Was there anything that you didn't like about it?
I don't know. I say all in all, it's good. So, like I said, some of the concepts make it really, really good. but I wouldn't say this is like ground shattering, like great movie ever level.
No. But I would say in general, I really was hard pressed to find something that I didn't like about it. There was something I was able to pull out, and that was there was a bit of a logical stretch. Cage, gets the blood on him to get him to do the whole reset thing like what they do. Now, for aliens that are so different from us in every way, the way that there's a hive mind type of thing, the way they move, maybe even their chemistry that's within them. We must have compatible blood types because otherwise Cage and Rita would not have acquired the alien's ability for time loop resetting after absorbing their blood. So that seemed like, and it's not really okay. So it is a stretch, but I can go with it and just say, okay, we'll roll with it. But that would be one thing to say, it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Overall, though, I would recommend this show as a good example of sci-fi action military. Because I really don't. It's an enjoyable movie, and it's good overall. So Christian themes. What kind of Christian themes would you pull out of this story?
Christian themes, redemption. I mean, we've used that for a couple of shows, but that is one of the key traits of Christianity is redemption. You can see where he goes from being a traitor to leading the charge single-handedly and being willing to sacrifice himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because at a certain point, he loses the ability, but he still has to go do this.
Yep.
And he's willing to sacrifice himself in order to obtain the victory for his group. So there's the redemption process.
And that was a huge 180 from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And this is a believable path. You might have a story where that is shown that's saying, hey, you got this guy was here and now he's here. But you really do see the steps and the processes, and you're pulling for him too. You do want him to do that. You were pulling for him to be hit by a car in the beginning. Now, he is hit by a Jeep partway through the movie too. But
hit by a Jeep, ran over.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
But you're pulling for him to succeed, and he does. I mean, he does become a true hero at the end. So there is that. But okay, and like you say, that's in a lot of other stories, but it's really showcased front and forward in this one.
Yeah, that redemption process. Yep.
I would say, okay, so from this, and this is when we say goodbye to somebody, we often say, take care. And with the whole COVID epidemic coming through, we were so wanting to shelter in place and hide. And I think we have become so timid into some things that I'm trying to get in the habit of saying, instead of saying take care to someone who's leaving, I'll say take courage. Because we need to do that. We need to be courageous. We need to have people who were like Cage at the end and not Cage at the beginning. Because Cage at the beginning, he was taking care of himself. At the end, he was taking courage. So I think that's an important thing for us to remember. Also, the moral choices on warfare. What about the moral choices we take during the fog of war?
Yeah, that's a whole thing, because at what point are you responsible? And of course, the fog of war blinds everyone.
Yeah.
So it's not as cut and dry. And of course, with the warfare that we currently have and the warfare that was shown there, is an aspect they didn't really touch on too much, is whenever you pull the trigger, the bullet keeps going. No matter, it doesn't just stop at the person that you're looking at or the person you're aiming at. If you miss, it keeps traveling.
Are you talking about
quite a distance.
Like friendly fire or something like this?
Possibility of friendly fire, possibility of innocents getting hit as well.
Oh.
There's those aspects. And then the show also pulls up the same sort of repeating morality or responsibility that you have, like we talked about whenever we talked about Stargate and the repeating in Stargate, where you are morally responsible for each iteration.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you do decide, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to head off and I'm going to go to a bar and whatever, or you decide to go on a murder spree, then you are still morally responsible for that in front of God.
Right, right. So what happens in the craziness of war, sometimes we can stretch those moral lines and do things that we wouldn't usually do in non-combat situations. So you still need to make those moral choices there. This is sort of a sideline for it. It's not the main part of the story, but it is something that can be brought up. We have a comment here I'm going to throw up, and I am probably not going to get the name right. Adam Shafsma? Boy, that's an unusual name. I've never seen that before. But he says, I never thought about that, talking about the blood aspect of what we're talking about, the alien blood mixing. I guess the premise would have been that the same creator created the aliens too because of that blood compatibility. I just took that for granted.
No, that's true. From a Christian aspect, and at the same time, blood has always been something that's been critical in Christianity or Judaism.
Life in the blood.
Life in the blood. It's always been that life for life concept where blood has to be shed. Forgiveness of sins.
Yeah, so in this case here, what if they were like silicone based or something like that, life forms? So, it's completely incompatible. But they apparently are breathing our atmosphere, do seem to be adapted to the gravity, and there's no issue with radiation, at least, because it doesn't look like they have any. I mean, they're naked. So as far as we know,
they don't have any clothes.
They don't look like there's any kind of suit for environmental issues. So they must, maybe our planet is very much like ours. And if this is an invasion to take over the planet, not just for resources, then you don't really know what the motives are behind the aliens in this story. It's completely it's not
completely in the vague. They're just monsters.
Well, yeah, right.
They're painted as just monsters. There's no
real
reason or intelligence behind them.
But if it is to colonize or to populate this planet, then this planet would be environmentally beneficial, or at least like a Goldilocks zone type of thing for them. So if that's the case, and maybe there is some compatibility with the blood. Had a quick follow-up. Yes, I nailed it. Adam. I pronounced Adam right. Okay, that's good to know.
Good. You got the first, one of the first names in the Bible, right?
Well, yeah, that, and don't ask me to pronounce his last name again, because I probably really mess it up. So what other Christian themes there might be here?
So we hit the blood, we hit the redemption.
Yeah, the redemption is a big thing. Courage
in the face of fear, because it's not that he's not afraid anymore. He's definitely terrified whenever he goes back in again, because he doesn't have that repeat.
Yeah, we forget often how many times the Bible, the message in the Bible is take courage, don't be afraid. You got Joshua going into the land of Canaan, take courage. You have Jesus walking on water, don't be afraid, fear not. So there's repeat.
That, and every time an angel appears, it's always comforting. It's fear not.
Yeah,
fear not,
and don't worship me.
Fear not, and don't worship me.
So that is a theme that's constant throughout the Bible that we do need to share with people, to say that, listen, we're not to be hiding behind stuff. Take the chance. And the other thing here too is he could take the chance. The character here, in main character Cage, could take the chance in this movie, because it's like, I'm coming back anyway. And life is extremely valuable, especially human life. But at the same time, we need to realize that this is not it. It's not the end of the story for us. We go on. So keep that in mind in terms of courage. You're willing to give up your life for someone else because this is only temporary. Okay, another question. This would be the last one that I would pull out of this one. Not question. I mean, another theme that you can look at is, How do Cage's experiences bring up questions about the purpose of life, destiny, and the search for meaning?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I just kind of
He's put me on the scene like, hey,
I do.
come up with something now.
You need these answers. Okay, so I kind of just mentioned that here a bit is that what we're here on Earth for is not for ourselves, not for money, not for gaining as much as we can. It's not the self-gratification. It's not even to make sure we live as long as we can, although it's generally a good idea to try to, be healthy and everything like that. But not be like Cage at the beginning. This coward, this self-seeking coward. But keep in mind that we will be standing before God and giving an account for our lives. And what matters is more what we do and how we treat others, how we treat God, how we live through our lives. So that's more, if you keep that in focus, I think you'd be better off in the long run. And look at what our meaning is. We're not going to talk about that too much now because that's like a whole live stream itself. But anyway, that's another message that can come out of here. So
I think that's one that the world really overlooks a lot. Not loving your life, being willing to sacrifice it for the right points.
Right.
Not being obsessed with, I got to live forever, but to say, no, death is just a doorway we step through into the next life. And it's a question of what happens at that point. Where did you put your faith?
Well, okay, so most of us do not have we're not confronted daily with give up your life to save this small child. We're not confronted with that. But I bet you daily that we're all confronted with the question of, do I do things that are self-seeking of self-interest, or do I give up my life in some small measure to someone else? And I'll give an example. This happens almost on a regular regular basis with me. Somebody will come up to me and I've got my schedule planned. I'm in the middle of doing something and they require my time. And it's like, no, I don't have any time for you. That would be my knee-jerk reaction. It's like, I've got to get this done. Instead of putting down whatever I'm doing, look them in the eye, give them the time they need to be able to say what they're going to say. Even in the back of my mind saying, this is so stupid. I need to get these things done. Still, be with that other person, because that is a precious thing.
And often those are the times that the Lord uses the most opportunities for ministry, is whenever you have those interruptions, because sometimes it's God interrupting you.
Yeah.
And you've got to be willing to put down whatever you have and say, yes, Lord, even if you don't necessarily know what the reason or why you're doing it. But yeah, those small sacrifices throughout the day are part of not loving your life too much, because you're not just, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just getting through this so I can do what I want to do.
I just need to relax. Just I just need my own time.
Me. And it's like, there's value that you need to chill out and take time. In fact, that's kind of the point of the Sabbath. Well, of the Sabbath.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there's time for rest. There's also time to be ready. And we are called to our own sort of war field or war ground. That is,
battleground.
Yeah, that is the ministry. That is the constant readiness to give an account for what we believe. So we can look at that as being an aspect of it.
Right. So let's go from this guy who starts as a coward to this guy who is able to conquer the field. He doesn't even have his helmet on the end. I mean, he's like just walking through because he knows what's going to happen. That is our goal. Our goal for that. So if you like this material, please let us know and share it. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. We have a couple more coming up real soon. We're looking at tomorrow, talking about liberating free guy, another type of person who is caught in another story about a guy who is caught in a world where he can be freed from. And so we'll look at that one. And also next week, Christian aliens. Do they exist? And they are not these guys. I don't think so. I don't think it's them. But we'll dive into those and see where it goes from there. It's more of a question, more of a philosophical question. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.